Hello, chat. Still in your video. The thing you're already working on. Might be too late for me to switch topic. Oh, I see. Mine is more focused on math and current evidence, so could be quite different. Oh, I think the music is pretty loud. News at 5 p.m. That shouldn't be news today. News are usually 3 or 4 p.m. But that shouldn't be news today anyway. We just don't have another thumbnail for this. This KC is not done with the normal stream thumbnail yet, so I don't have other thumbnail. Oh.
悪くない戦いだ。この私です。胸の高鳴りを感じたほど。
The Rock is the next story, but it's been a while. Expecting it on like 17 actually. It's either 17 or 21st, which is a long time to go. It's gonna be 2 weeks of nothing. Oh. There's no question. Then back to my map.
チェーンソーのうなり声が聞こえる？
全力でかかって私を楽しませ
Canadian is okay. Is Shen the next limited? Should be next. This should be next limited. Should be. Your anniversary banner should be the Shen banner. You would be correct. Okay, time to answer some question in YouTube chat. Let me roll up. Give me a moment. Okay. How impactful is Saileach's pot? How feasible is it to replace pot 6 Elysium with pot 1 her? Saileach pot, as you can see, when the attack speed is too fast, for example, when there's Ash. For example, Ash S2. This is with pot 6 Saileach. The attack interval is, after rounding, is actually still 0.167 per attack. It's 0.166. Yeah, if you want to, yeah. And this guy right to 0.167 per attack. And with both Saileach pot, you can see that because of frame rounding concept, it's still 1.67. Even with Elysium, your attack speed is still 167. Even though Elysium is going to show attack speed increase compared to 10 and 12 of Saileach, it is still 167 because of frame rounding concept. Which is why at fast attack speed, at fast attack interval, your attack speed has diminishing return. In this case, where even 13, the difference in 13 attack speed doesn't make any difference because of that being rounded. But one Saileach can easily replace Elysium in 4F, that's true at least, very easily. Google shit. I'm used to this because my professor also do the math on Whiteboard. I'm taught to do it like this. Is Canadian good? Canadian is okay. Give me a moment. Canadian can be. Canadian is true AoE, alright? Because her skill doesn't have target count. It's just all the enemy in her range. Her upside over area would be excellent control, which is really nice control actually, but it doesn't really do a lot of damage. Actually, it can do more damage than area, but the requirement is quite strict because you have to ramp up the debuff stack on her entry, which is damage amplification, so that she can even reach similar damage as area S3 or even surpass it. It's actually very rough for S3 to reach similar damage because of the strict restriction. Next. A friend of you told Saileach is moved to use one pot. Is that true? The multiple max 3 that uses Saileach pot, so I don't know. I don't think so. At least pot 2 Saileach is so much easier to use because it's easier to deploy. Right? Pot 2 Saileach costs 11. Otherwise, your Saileach can cost 12, which is rough for CC when there's 75% DP down. What event comes after CC7? NBA run. Is it worthy to N9 Saria? Saria N9 is okay, I guess, but not anymore. I don't think you use Saria S2 anymore. It's not that much.
ねえ、今日はロドスに何をもたらすつもり？これまで通りかしら。
Is there, you do use Saria S2 in like some normal situations, but it's not really something you would always use anymore. Back then, it would be something that you would use quite often. Next question. Should you pull for Saileach or set for Near Altar? Both Saileach and Near Altar banner are important for CC, so it really depends on you. As in, Near Altar F2 is what you would use for CC. And Saileach, because she's a flag bearer, she's going to be used in CC. And both of those kits are already proven in CC7. Near S2 is being constantly used for the CC, and also Saileach S3 and S2. Both S3 are being used in CC, even S1 actually. Saileach already have all three of her gear effects used in CC. Study S1 also. Very nice. Next. Is Chen Limited is the next banner? No. For EN, it shouldn't be next banner. Limited should be your anniversary banner. Chen Limited banner should be anniversary banner. Can Global use Chen at IC and Digital event? I have no idea. Depends on who is released next. If it's Canadian next, then it's very likely that you will get Chen first before IC, I guess. So I think with a better pick for selector between Mario and Backpack. Depends on your box and what you want to achieve. If you're a normal player that doesn't really go Pirates, and want to have an easy going at the normal maps, then you can pick Mario because the S2 makes a lot of maps easier and branded. Next. The Saileach actually better than Elysium S2. Oh, there's a bunch of math right here that could tell you. But it's situational. It depends on what enemy and which sniper. But the key takeaway is Saileach is always better. Saileach is almost always better than Elysium for F. Because you wouldn't use F for like 2 high defense enemy anyway, it doesn't really work. And for Chen, it depends on enemy defense. For example, in this CC, if you are looking at the 2x6k defense enemy with the color switch, you can see here the damage for there's a damage comparison between Saileach and Elysium. At 2x6k defense, Elysium is way better than Saileach already. It's 8,000 damage difference. But you have to remember, if you're not just using one DPS, for example, you're mixing DPS, for instance, you use a sniper and you also use the Ifrit, a Persona DPS, Saileach is almost always gonna be better because she can buff all of her DPS. You place them in the correct way, and you cast your X3 in the correct rotation because it depends on where the flag lands, then it would buff your DPS attack speed. And also, the enemy can take 30% more damage regarding of what source you are using. As in, if you are using Elysium, he will only buff your sniper's attack speed and reduce enemy defense, right? But if you are using Saileach, he's going to use weaken on your enemy, which would make them take 30% damage regardless if it's physical or it's magic damage, and also buff attack speed. As long as your operators are flanked around that flag when it's deployed. As part 1 Saileach rate enough to replace max part Myrtle, depends on the situation. But if you are talking about using S1 to generate cross, probably not. But over the long run, you would probably just use Elysium if you want to generate cost. Yeah. I think that's a situation where Myrtle loses, because throughout the run, if you want to generate cost, Myrtle actually lost, because Elysium generates more. And Elysium and Saileach have the same skill. As in S1 from Elysium and Saileach, exactly the same skill. So you would just use Elysium. Myrtle's advantage is because she can be deployed early due to her natural low DP costs that counts with her because she's a 4-star, right? So she can be deployed early and generate cost early, instead of the whole rotation early. But if the early part, if there isn't any early pressure, then you would probably just cut Myrtle and bring Elysium plus Saileach. For example, for this CC, there isn't really much early pressure. It's just like one bitey that is super early. The rest are not that early, as in the tracks are not that early. Shape for Suzerain TOW run depends on what's your target. As in, do you want to do higher CC and what does your box looks like and such. Suzerain is a staple in CC ever since her release. Select Wolf M9. So far in CC, all 3 of her skill already been used, so. Shape for Suzerain even though Saileach already debuffed? Yes! It's 2 characters that can debuff. You can rotate them. Suzerain doesn't generate cost. At 75% DP down, Saileach is going to be better because Suzerain doesn't generate cost. Suzerain staying on the field doesn't do anything except for the buff and yeah, whatever she's doing. When there's 75% DP down, you can have Saileach generate cost for you while doing almost the same thing that Suzerain does. Almost. Not saying it's the same. Suzerain is still better at that department actually. Longer duration and such, but it depends on the enemy, how much HP do they have, because the shorter rotation of Saileach might actually helps. For instance, this CC, C7, the enemy comes out regular interval. If it was Suzerain wouldn't be able to rotate properly for multiple of those enemies, but Saileach would be able to use her skill every time the enemies come out, because her skill duration isn't too long, and her CD isn't too long. It's quite short actually. So her skill will be ready every time that elite lock comes out, so they can combo that with another operator DPS skill to kill the mob. But Suzerain, once you use a skill, there's a long CD that you cannot use that with him. And she doesn't generate DP, which is very important once again in higher CP, because it's always 50% DP down or 75% DP down. I don't think Suzerain's 2 DPS is that nice. It is okay. Okay. Fresh color skills are to M3. High risk so far use S2 for 66. What's the correct way to pronounce Saileach? Saileach. I'm not kidding, it's Saileach.
It's on Saileach. So
You listen to a native pronouncing it?
name in Irish. You know what they're called in Irish? They're called sally trees on Saileach.
Saileach. That's a pronunciation. It will be useful. There we go. Thank you. I'll probably will use that. Elysium and Saileach S1 is the same skill, so they cover each other, is it? Okay, next question. Is it okay to skip Chen Outer Banner? I'm gonna be honest, if you skip Chen, you're probably going to regret it. I don't know how many people can sleep in a year, because there are other factors, like maintenance and shit. I never really counted how much you can get as a free-to-play. Wrong person to ask. Modern United is better level up first Mountain. You're barely gonna use Unite Test, but you're probably going to use Mountain a lot. Can I suggest you to pull upcoming operator? If you are going for meta, definitely pull Chen. The rest you can skip first. As in, if you are going to skip, you're probably not doing high risk, right? Like, other operators, Saileach wouldn't really be useful in normal gameplay. I'm sorry to say, Saileach's not gonna be useful in your normal gameplay. She's a CC character. You can use her in normal gameplay. I'm not saying she cannot be used, but she's not really something that would make your normal gameplay much easier or anything. But Chen will. Chen will make your already game like rendered stages even more branded. It's one of those characters like Circle that changes the game. No matter if it's normal content or it's high risk, they change the game. What's the next question? Yeah, about that. Yeah, about borrowing. You know, there's a problem when there's a meta character and then people tell me that they can just borrow. For instance, the easiest way to clear and farm Neolite's most important stage, I think it was farming. I think it was farming this. I think oh yeah, and that's like the fastest way to kill the Blood Knight is with Chen. If you're borrowing a Chen, you cannot auto. Then your runs are gonna be very slow. Just saying. And that's not the only case where Chen would make your runs faster. Borrowing has its downside. Like, you can clear the stage once, alright, that's fine, but when most of the part of this game are going to be farming rather than doing new content. So auto farming QL is very important. Shout out for D Prim, who's the best. Elysium and Saileach S1. Chen is good for like almost everything. Yeah. Unless you're willing to borrow a Chen to farm the stage every time, then yeah, go ahead. Also, if you don't own the operator, you cannot use them in integrated strategy. Oh well, you technically can, but you have to get lucky. Channel and Circle is better to invest. For generic map clear, I personally find Chen more game changing. She helps clear most of the stage, but Turtle would be the one that helps you clear the elite mobs. But Chen would carry you through the most of the DPS you need for a certain stage. Both are game changing, however. But I personally went for Chen first before Circle E2. Gods already do Domi IS. Dude, IS doesn't just have one team, you know. IS has multiple choice. You can play the supporter team, you can play the sniper teams and such. It's why IS is interesting, right? You can use a diverse different kind of characters. So different starting buff, different debuff and shit. Then you can discover whatever you want to do. Sticking to one class is not really a fun way to play IS. How hard is Chapter 9 boss compared to PSN? Yes. What the fuck is PSN here, man? Now let me just... I actually don't know who is PSN.
人外では戦場で誰も救えないビクトリアのバグパイプ波状棒と都市が崩れていくのを感じ思考を明晰にするは戦術いい無駄だみんなじゃあこの床の歌に音力だけで違法にかき消されたり
Black Snake, are you talking about that? Undying Black Snake? Yeah, I've never seen anyone use that abbreviation for it. Plus Black Snake. Actually, the first time I've seen people use that to refer to her. Usually people call it Talula anyway. Actually, Talula is not that hard as a boss. After you slightly understand her mechanism, she's not that hard as a boss anymore. I would say Mandela is more annoying to deal with than hard. You have to time the killer to hit her and such and kill her at the exact timing to make it easier. You can brute force it. Which one was a side limited character in your banner? Your banner is anniversary banner. What I mean is any anniversary banner that ended 1 year or before that will have the limited character included in that banner. What I mean is you will have W and Los Montes as the off banner read up in Neo banner.
行きましょう。君たちのために地獄の
Also, Flame Tail, she's fine.
安心していってらっしゃい。
Any project with success summoner? No. When will Saileach comes to EN?
リンゴちゃんじゃあ
February or March next year, probably.
この辺温度が低すぎるかな。
油断しないように気をつけろ。
Any 5-star warp to use right now for me? I don't know who did you rest already. Did you rest Elysium? Elysium is always useful.
すぐに着くから
私
リンゴちゃん今日もよろしくね
ちょっと乱暴だけど硬い金属とかシェルターを切り裂くのが好きなんだ。
Firewatch is useful for sniper team. If you're a sniper team player, yeah, go ahead. Firewatch. Her skill is really unique actually. I think her skill is actually broken. Which is why they'll never release another skill like her S1 anymore.
には限りがあるんだ。
And yeah, they haven't been.
セイロン
There isn't any other skill
美しみ
that is even similar to her S1.
素晴らしく連携の取れた作戦行動であった。諸君
This person is so hard to entry.
ねえ今日はロドスに何をもたらすつもり？
Well,
これまで通りかしら。
I don't know.
また新しい
Also, reason metal. How much material do you have? Oh, quite right. But once you reach the later stage of the game, entries are not really that hard anymore. It might still be hard, but it's not
今日は
that
ロ
hard
ドスに
anymore.
何をもたらすつも
It's
り？
just the early stage of the game, you have so much to race, so you might feel like entry is very hard. Which is true. Entry takes so much grants for 6 stars. You wanna ask why isn't Canadian popular? Her damage is not good and her control is not necessary. Is that Puma worth it? Most player no. To be honest. Running 5-star like Lakuma is a luxury rather than something you wouldn't. I don't know about the box actually. I really don't know who do you have, and that's the question. That's the problem. Like if you have more 6 stars already, you wouldn't need any 5-star except for like Elysium or Warframe and Picloxes, where their function are not detectable. Some 5-star that we still regularly use is Elysium, Texas, Shamir, Picloxes, Warframe, Liskarn, Spectre. Oh, that's about it, actually. Yep. And Xiaobe has been getting more and more useful in CCs. Ines assistant, yeah. Because Ines is going to be released soon, so I don't need to look at her on my main screen anymore.
また新しい部屋を増やしたのか。エンジニア部は本当に元気だな。
August 7 was the next event, MP run. Now meta for CC S2. We predicted that S2 would be meta, and it is. Một con chơi này thì mà oh shit, son.
"体が大きいと部屋に入るのも一苦労だな。
So I have a few operators arrays
今
here.
日はロドスに何をもたらすつも
My
り？
box is
これ
still
まで通りかしら。
quite incomplete actually. There's still a lot of operators that I haven't reached, so understandable. From here on, all these operators will invest so many of them in this region. 7, 8, 15, 16, 17. Okay, 43, something like that. Capital doesn't reflect Texas in a lot of sense, but they both have their upside. Capital has physical evasion for everyone in the skill range, which can be very useful. In the case where you might want to play RNG game, yeah, very useful. Secondly, Flamtail also enables Neo. Enables Neo S2 so that it doesn't get the deployment penalty. It's a very good touch. for these Kazunia's operators on the map, when Candy is on the map, also get 2% physical evasion, which means if you deploy Clamtail, generate cost into Neo F2, Neo is not only gonna benefit from F2 having no penalty, but she's going to also gain 22% physical evasion wherever she is. It's really nice. Texas upside for me, mostly Texas upside is initial DP. I cannot stress that enough. Plus 2 DP is very strong. I don't know that Kazunia's operators. It's literally in the game. Casimir. Is here and is also in the respective operator page. Casimir. You can also see from the logo behind them, except this one you cannot see shit because art is so huge. Can't see shit, art is so huge. Yeah, it's here. And it's also... the better way to say it is probably here. Network map, and if the art is covered then you check here, otherwise you check the logo behind them. Casimir and the Primal Silvestris. I don't read split, so I have no idea actually. She is. You can see a logo here. You can also see the logo for Gravel. Where is she? Here. That's Casimir's logo. You can see the faction right here. I do not know. Just check the background. If you want skill to deploy Quirrell first, then you have it. Although people do utilize that, for me I think that's a luxury. How do I put it? Yeah, putting one slot in CC for Gravel. You need to think about, could that Gravel have been doing something else? Could that slot have been a more impactful operator compared to Gravel? Because Gravel would just be stalling and tanking. What else can she do? Is there anyone else you can replace that slot with? Do you really need that 30-second deployment delay? And S2 is most commonly only used in CC, so which is why I talk about CC. Just for faster CV, yeah, is it worth it? That's the question. How do you get that many Originium? First, you need to be a magician. Second, you need to start saving. We have 6-star medic now, like Whisper and Kills your Archetype. I mean, we can, but are they gonna release it? Releasing 6-star medic is a very rough case because unless your medic does damage, they are going to be very low impact. What I mean by that is because you already have a character for maximum magic damage reduction, and then another one is for physical. So what's your wide range medic gonna do? The wide range medic is going to just provide you resist, and what for? What for you get resist? Current meta so far, resist hasn't been too useful for high star gameplay. Resist is useful for low star gameplay, however. For example, if you see the 4-star team clears, very often you would see pure stream in Paula clears. Because the resist helps to remove the burn buff from Palula. He is very good. Yep. It's good. But high star players so far, resist is not that useful. I don't know how you make a 6-star wide range medic that is impactful, because according to the archetype, they have shit healing. As long as NG meta gonna last, as long as there are high magic damage enemy in the game, Nightingale is always gonna be relevant. That's the truth when they design her. Is pass good? High super 3, nothing for CC? Why do you say that? The range is so small, and it's a chance to stun for only 0.2 seconds and doesn't have attack speed increase. Only 80% 80k increase. In CC, enemy defense are high as shit. Why would I use her over like Chen or something? Or like Silver Ash? Sheer level Whispering. Only healer you use are Mirror and Silence. What other healers do you have? But these 5 are the higher priority healers. I mean, she's not even a healer, so... I would suggest raising... offering Antitoxis before anything. Antitoxis first, probably. You don't have Petroxis and Warfarin. You don't have Petroxis. You also don't have Susuro. Kinda weird. With all this and Susuro are probably going to solve all your healing problems. If you are just talking about healing. But since you already read your Mirror and Silence, go ahead. I don't know, I find Silence lacklusting because all she does is heal. And that's not enough for a healer. All the meta healers so far that people commonly use doesn't just heal. They have to do something else. For example, Nightingale has a cage and she provides a ton of magic resistance, make you straight up take less damage. Shining increases defense. And then you have Glowfish, which increase your SP regen. And then you have Warframe, which can increase your damage. Susuro is a special case since she is a 4-star and she provides tons of healing for what she is. Silence is really good healer, yeah, but that's it. That's all she does. She just heals. For me, personally, healing alone is not enough anymore. And I'm talking very meta here, so you're very casual, rest whatever you want, you should be able to create things that you them. I'm not saying they're bad, they're just not good enough. I would like a Polinic Archetype 6-star if the numbers are better, actually. As in, so far, Polinic is a good concept. Reduce environmental damage taken, I think, her talent. And her skill can do damage and also heal at the same time. Okay, the only problem with Polinic is the average numbers. Yeah, it's a standard medic with very unique skill set. Where she is? Yep, medic. Just a normal medic. Is only variable building for elemental damage? I built Mulberry for elemental damage, and so far she has not been that useful. Elemental healer has not been useful. When will integrated strategy to come? Somewhere in mid-January. Review. Oh my god, let's talk about that. Should I change my topic? The topic of my video. I can push Saileach video later on actually. I can still keep these materials for later on. I can make the why I still use AR over Canadian video. and charging. It's not that simple. You cannot convince people by saying that, actually. You're not gonna convince me either just saying that. Too little of a reason. There are a lot of factors. Both their S3 have very similar potential actually in terms of damage. But potential is one thing. Actual situation is another. Yeah, Kalina also lacks the heavy drop capability, which is really sad, actually. I'm sorry if my video overlapped with any other content creators' video because I don't watch EN video. As in, I don't watch AK videos on YouTube. So if it overlaps with any video that people have done before, I'm sorry about that, but that's just how I do things. I don't really watch other EN content creators' videos. And it's not that I hate AK content creators, just I don't know how to put it. Because I play CN, the content they are making are already something that I already played before. So by the time they release their content, I've already finished that content and moved on already. So like, I'm not particularly interested in what they make. I watch CN videos because they're new, you know? Like something that I still want to know about. But most of the time, the non-CN videos have quite outdated information, which I already have.
がこんなところで無防備に寝てるなんてあの時の誰でも想像できないわ過去を忘れてしまえばそんな楽になるものなの
I Image outlook. Some suggestion about next ban on EN don't know. Palace or Canadian doesn't really matter. Whichever can happen. Heard my rerun coming. TLW rerun should be soon, yes. Doesn't support the community. Not that I don't support it. If you don't know yet, I'm a very lazy person. NB rerun important. See, and news, yeah, I already had it this morning. It's like right here. How hard is it to farm the new material? They are absolutely terrible to farm. I'm pretty sure what he meant by Mud Road Rerun is like the boss, right? TOW? Because TOW has Mud Road boss in it. I don't know if he's talking about the operator or the boss. Because that's the only rerun you're getting. Saileach team operator,
本当に悠々自適ね。あんたがこんなところで無防備に
let's put it this way.
あの時の誰でも想像できないわ。
Saileach is not even close to top 10
そんな楽になるものなの
for normal gameplay. As in normal maps and shit. Saileach's not even close to no top 10. But in CC, he can easily be in top 5. TOW event is not Phantom Banner, it's Silver Banner. There are only one stage to farm cutting through it. It's 96. Average drop. Average sanity per drop is 67. There are two stages to farm solvent. Average sanity is 63 for the lowest one. The other material that you thought were rough to farm was device. Average sanity per drop is 53. So see for yourself, what do you think? Do you think these maps are easy to farm? Iso's gonna be after MB runs. Yeah, no. After MB run is gonna be Chirac event.
本当に悠々自適ね。あんたがこんなところで無防備に寝てるなんて。あの時の誰でも想像できないわ。過去を忘れてしまえば、そんな楽になるものなの。
I don't know about Black Knights anymore, but yeah. Part 2 so far has been very underwhelming. She had like one wow moment and then that's it. So I was checking out that should be. Chapter 9 should be after. But it's not right after. It's probably you're probably gonna get either Canadian or Palos after Chen before you get chapter 9. I just said and yeah, would you prioritize? If you really have to compare in normal gameplay wise, Neo Alpha probably helps more than Saileach. So I would assume you don't go for higher CC. Because in higher CC both are important.
ね。あんたがこんなところで無防備に寝てるなんてあの時の誰でも想像できないわ。過去を忘れてしまえばそんな楽になるものなの？
Yeah, it's good for CC as well. Her Astro is really good for CC. S3 kinda requires brand usage. It's not that hard to use though. S3 is really good for normal search actually. But then normal search EPS where you have the likes of Circle, Chen, yeah, which is why other stuff just seem not viable because broken shit exists. Yeah, the Elysium Miracle, the one thing that I discovered when I was talking about CC is people have different definition of high risk. What do you mean by your high risk? So usually when I talk about high risk, it's either max risk or max risk minus 1. Just say up anything. That's very rare to see a Robin free skin? No, Robin skin is paid. Just what, 5, 6, 5? No! There is each level clear that doesn't require 5 that 5. Max risk DCC is very easy. Unfortunate. Does Flame Tail worth investing for higher DCC? I've seen her being used in one clear. And she didn't even do much. So far, no. If you're just talking risk only 5 and 6, yeah, you don't need it. Full Ghost Limited after Neon. Probably not. Because the next limited is going to be CNY. And pretty much everyone were expecting to be one of the male siblings of Nian as the next limited. I mean, there's still chance that it's gonna be female, but if it's male, it will be the first male limited character. Do you pull Saileach? Depends on your box, which is why I need you to ask a question. Saileach is only for higher CC. It's not that she cannot be used for normal stages, it's just that she would be more useful in higher CC. In normal stages, it's not gonna be as impactful, because Neo and Elysium, Myrtle and Elysium probably take care of all your post generation need already. And in normal state there isn't DP down, usually, unless it's like challenge one. And even then, in normal stage, it's not that harsh in some of DP down. So you wouldn't need Saileach for that. And your damage are usually overflowing in normal stage. Outside of CC, you don't really need that damage amplification. It's just like how you don't really need Suzura in normal stage and you would use her in DC. Yeah, it's the same situation. It's something that is nice to have, but you wouldn't really use them that often. Nian siblings on Chinese New Year, you dog? Okay. Sure. So is Saileach pot 2 good or go for higher pot? I mean, for pet rare is always going for higher pot the better. Pot 2 is good though. Nian family has 12 siblings, including her. I'm pretty sure it's a reference to the... Oh my god, what's that called in English? Actually, I don't know what it's called in English. The Sheng Xiao. Is it actually just called Chinese Zodiac? Called Chinese Zodiac shit. CN1 Limited are reference to Chinese Zodiac, and there are 12 of them. So yes, it's still going to be Nian sibling every year in CN1. If you're running for more than 10 years, not necessarily. If I'm gonna be honest, they can release one of their siblings as welfare or even as a 5-star. They don't really need everyone to be 6 stars. Oh, Dragon sneak trailer. What sneak peek trailer? Like, that wasn't even shown before. Either. So you have to walk it to max spot. I don't think you need to ask me. if you are capable of max pot, you should know what you are trying to do. It's just a very natural thing. If you are going for max pot, it's for CCs, right? There are some openings because of DP issue that you can only do with max pots. So it's always better to go for max pot if you can. On any of these meta operators. But it's not like everyone can go for max pot though. But if you are comparing between Neo and Chen, which one should max pot? It's probably Chen. Pots are really just things that you would need for CCs, so before asking if it's worth, you need to ask yourself, do you do max risk or high risk? And do you go for the very extreme clear, or do you just go for like, just clear would be fine for me. If you want to go for extreme clears, then sure, go for max pot, it's gonna be worth it. Because that's what you're gonna need for those clears. If you're just going for, if you're not doing CC, then pot 1 is definitely fine for any operator. 1 copy of every operator is already good enough if you're not going for high risk CC. If you just do max risk day 1, that's about it, then you don't need max risk. I mean, you don't need max pot. You really don't need max pot. Limited banner max pots are very expensive, usually. Mm-hmm.
あんたがこんなところで無防備に寝てるなんてあの時の誰でも想像できないわ。過去を忘れて
Then I need to start to make AI, yes. It's because of her CD. But CD is much shorter than AI. But we want bigger bursts. Because so far in the situation that you would use AI skill is barely enough. Yeah, actually, in CC, right? So like, Canadian damage is definitely not gonna be enough. Another problem is stacking the damage. You need to stack the damage amp so that she can catch up. I forgot me I predicted for CN, yeah. Assuming I can log in. So far it's been going well. Let me make it less complicated.
本当に悠々自適ね。あんたがこんなところで無防備に寝てるなんてあの時の誰でも想像できないわ。過去を忘れてしまえばそんな楽になるものなの。
Most interesting strat I've seen in C7 Max Fist? Perma Nightingale Cake. It's a new concept that I've just learned. Apparently people use it a little bit back in CT6, but it wasn't that successful. But this time it's really useful. The concept behind it is you put Nightingale Catch around Skadi with S1, and then you put Suzanne close to them too. So when the HP is low, you can use Skadi S1 to tank for whoever is tanking the boss attack, and also healing the cage. And when Skadi S1 is down, and the cage HP is low, you use Suzuran S3 to heal the cage. Then you just infinite rotate that. Then the Nightingale cage will survive infinitely. It was especially useful against stages with very hard to deal with enemy that you can store, that you can actually store. If the enemy can be stored, then I don't think it was that used that much in CC6. Just a little bit. For self boss and Dorsaless. Dorsaless is not in game. So I probably have to borrow someone else's account for it. I could do it for UT because UT is in game. Who even was Dorsaless boss again? Oh, it's the map mechanism. The more annoying thing is the map mechanism rather than the boss. So yeah, the boss isn't anything that's happening. Don't worry about it.
あんたがこんなところで無防備に寝てるなんてあ あなたたちの誰でも想像できないわ。過去を忘れてしまえばそんな楽になるものなの？
Yeah, it's the net mechanism that are annoying, it's not the boss. Quality of event, my position does I get. They definitely will get a rerun, yes.
君たち
I just don't know how will they ever handle the banner. I'm assuming
安心していってらっしゃい。
joint operation.
イディ・ジャスティスナイトは皆様に適時適切なサポートをお届けするわ。
このテストに多少は協力するようターゲットたちを促してくださいますか、ドクター。
I remember Chapter 9 being that difficult outside of the H stage.
アップルパイ。
喜ばしい成果です。かえって今回のデータをまとめたら少し自由な時間にできそうです。ではこの後に予定は入ってやがりますか？
ねえ、今日はロドスに何をもたらすつもり？これまで通りかしら。
Actually, I don't have any rocks. I have 100 of these new nets, but no rocks. That's just like.
Oh? また新しい部屋を増やしたのか。
I found them, and also
本
the
当に元気だね。
you know like event. I only picked them. I only picked the new mats because they're the most efficient match to choose. One trading post, by the way.
ねえ、今日はロドスに何をもたらすつもり？これまで通りかしら。
Anyone that's just straight about leaking. If they are, they probably are. But week 1 and week 2 straight are very different because of the sandstorm direction. So be prepared for that. Well, if there isn't any important question, I'm done for now. Sure again later to record some footage for Canadian video actually. But I'm gonna draw out the line up for Canadian video later so that I can make it. I should doctor pull for Saileach. If you're going for high risk, definitely pull her, and it depends on your box. Yeah, same time. Yeah, I might stream again later tonight if I don't fall asleep. Anyway,